Hi planty people, it's Carly and this is the Planted Carly Flower. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about plants that I don't intend to buy anymore. They're plants that I've had or genuses that I've had plants of that I just did not do well with. They didn't do well in my environment. They just weren't for me. The list isn't very long. There's definitely some plants that I will probably retry that I have failed with now that I know more about those plants and I feel I can give them better care. But yeah, let's get right into it. Please hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next part of the video. Okay guys, it's not a very long list, so this will probably be a little bit of a shorter video, but you probably have things to do and don't want to sit here and watch me talk all day anyways, so let's just get right into it. I have my little list here, and we're going to start with Peperomia. I have some Peperomia currently in my collection that are doing okay. I have a Peperomia Hope that's doing well. I have a Peperomia Frost that's doing well, although I haven't barely had that one for like a month, so there's still plenty of time for me to kill it. And I have a Peperomia Emerald Ripple that is not doing all that great. I actually repotted it in a Repot Me video a few videos back. I'll link it in case you want to watch that and check it out. But in general, I will not be buying any more Peperomias. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous. There's just something about Peperomia that does not mesh well with me. I have a feeling that it is my watering and it just doesn't go well with the way I water, because I feel like most of the ones that I've killed have been due to overwatering, which is odd because I'm a Hoya girl and I don't water often. So it's just, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see how these other ones do. I'm looking at my Ripple right now and my Peperomia Hope is right here behind me. The Hope I've had since I think like August or September of last year, so that one is doing pretty good considering it's been over half a year. It's still alive, it's growing, although the growth has slowed considerably in the past months, but it is spring, so hopefully we'll get some cute little leaves. Those Peperomia Hopes are just so cute. But yeah, Peperomia is one for me that I just cannot vibe with. It does not care for my environment, it doesn't care for my watering techniques, and it's just not something that I want to continuously torture them and myself trying to get into. So Peperomias are probably going to be a big old miss for me, and that's okay. You learn something with every plant that you have, and every step you take with your plants on your plant journey, you learn something. And I have learned that Peperomias are not my jam. They're not fans of me either, and we have mutually agreed to separate and part ways. Okay. So the next plant that is on my list here that I will not be repurchasing are Syngoniums. I know. This one isn't necessarily a care issue. I'm soured to the whole experience of a Syngonium. I do have a Syngonium green form that I've had for a while that I got in a plant trade as a bonus little cutting they sent me. And it's doing really well. It hasn't really grown. It's still just 2 little leaves, but it's really cute. It's vibing. It's doing its thing. But I ordered a Syngonium Elbow off Etsy. My boyfriend wanted to treat me. I thought Syngonium Elbows were just beautiful, so I ordered a 1-leaf rooted cutting, and it came and it was beautiful. But even though it was beautiful, I didn't love it like I thought I would love it. Like, I just wasn't that into it. It was also a very wonky cutting. The plant, which I know is completely common for Syngoniums, but it was all twisted and the leaf was like upside down and backward, so it wasn't even presenting in a pretty way. It turns out the plant was like rotted. The roots were all gone. The little roots it had were all gone. And it took it about 2-3 weeks to just fully kick the bucket. And the experience honestly just totally soured me on Syngoniums. I don't think I'll ever venture out to buy another Syngonium. There are other plants and species that I like much more, and I would rather spend my time and energy and money on one of those versus buying a Syngonium. I'd rather buy one of my beautiful Hoyas or maybe a philodendron than go for a Syngonium. I have seen some beautiful Syngonium elbows that are like climbing up moss poles, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. And I can honestly and 100% see why people love them. But they just don't do it for me. They really don't. That one, I was so excited to get that one, and then it just wasn't what I thought it would be. And I was disappointed with the plant in general, and then it ended up rotting, and I just can't do it. They're just not for me. I'm so sorry if any of these plants are some of your favorites, but hey, the less I'm buying, the more there are for you, right? So I'm helping you out, really. So yeah, they're just not something I vibe with, and won't be something that I purchase in the future. I did almost pull the trigger a few months ago, and I don't remember what kind of Syngonium it was, but it was beautiful, like an arrowhead shape with pink splotches on it. I don't remember the name of it, and it was gorgeous. And then I thought to myself, it's gonna get here, you're gonna spend the money on it, it's gonna get here, you're not gonna love it like you should, and it deserves to go to a much better home where it's gonna be really treasured. So I ended up passing on it. But I almost bought one, just because I do believe they're very beautiful. I still teeter back and forth with giving away my Syngonium green form to a house where it might thrive a little bit better and get a little bit more attention paid to it. But so far I have still held on to it because I do actually like the way it looks, and I do feel a little bit of a sentimental connection to it because a friend traded it to me, and it was a surprise cutting that I didn't know I was getting. So I feel a little bit of sentimental attachment to that. But you never know, I might pass it on somewhere where it's more loved, which is probably what my friend would be like okay with anyway. If you are passing it on to someone who can love it more, then I'm sure my friend would understand. But for me, I just feel like that would be kind of rude, so I keep it. And I've been taking care of it, and it's not like growing off the hinges, but it's doing all right. It is in a lower light situation, so that might have something to do with the fact that it hasn't grown in a little bit. Okay, let's check out the next one here. If I can get my phone to open. Okay, ferns. Oh my god, so many ferns have met their untimely demise in my home. I have not bought a fern in over a year and a half. I learned a long time ago that while ferns are beautiful and they have delicate leaves and they look so like beautiful, they're just beautiful. I don't know what the word, I'm thinking of the word springy. I guess that's because they pop, I don't know. But they're beautiful. Ferns are gorgeous. They're gorgeous plants. They grow to be so big and lush, and they give off these amazing jungle vibes, and I'm here for it. Trust me, I'm here for it. But I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where it rains like 4 times a year in any kind of substantial amount. We're constantly in a water drought, and ferns just shrivel up and croak like the second I bring them into my house. The only supplemental humidity I have in my home is my humidifier for my calatheas, and I don't really want to bring more humidifiers into the house. I have my cabinets to keep my plants that need additional humidity happy. So ferns just die. They just shrivel and die in my house. It's just a bad environment. I definitely am not an active like over waterer, like ferns, not to the level that ferns need the water, you know? So they crisp up and basically just beg for death after a little while because I'm just so bad with them. I don't even have an enclosed bathroom where I could hang them in a bathroom with a window and they could enjoy the humidity that way. My bathroom is open with an archway attached to my bedroom, and the humidity just doesn't stay with showering and bathing. So ferns just not for my environment, not for my watering type and schedule and habits, and that is again okay. I will no longer torture any poor fern with my horrible care of them, and I won't have to feel guilty about killing them anymore. But yeah, ferns, not my jam. And the last one actually is a specific Hoya that I've tried a couple times, and I just cannot cannot get it. Sorry, I'm trying to get my water in for the day, so chug chug. Hoya australis. I know it's so common and everybody has one. I've had two and I cannot get them to thrive for me. They always get a bunch of yellowing leaves, and then they end up like just get looking all like gross, and the leaves fall off, and then they're just like bare. And I want to try an Australis Lisa. I definitely want an Australis Lisa at some point, but I'm a little gun shy. I haven't pulled the trigger on one yet just because I am scared that I cannot give it the care that it requires. I don't know what it is about particularly a Hoya australis. I have lost so few Hoyas. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've lost Hoyas. Everybody loses a plant, even the plants they love. Some things happen and you lose plants, it happens. But I've lost very few Hoyas in general. And most of the Hoyas that I've lost came with some sort of problem that I just couldn't overcome. But I had I can keep the Hoya australis alive, don't get me wrong, it's alive, it's just not thriving. I've given away 2 of them now. I buy them, realize I can't care for them, and I'm like, hey, you want this? And I send it off to someone who can take care of it better than I can. Because holy moly, I just cannot get it down. I don't know what I do wrong. I've tried them in plastic pots. I've tried them in terracotta. I've tried them, and I just cannot. I cannot. I don't know why I cannot get Hoya australis down. It's the reason why I haven't pulled the trigger on an Australis Lisa. I found a beautiful Australis Lisa on Etsy, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to the poor plant. I wanted to. I wanted to buy it and try it, but I couldn't do it. I was afraid I would kill it, honestly. And Australis Lisa is such a beautiful plant. But yeah, Hoya australis, I don't think I'll ever buy another one. If I do, it'll be a Lisa to try and to see if the care is better for me with that plant. But in general, I don't think I will ever buy a Hoya australis again. I've tortured 2 now, and it just stresses me out, and I'm not here for it. So, yeah, that would be the extent of my list today. We've got Peperomia, Syngonium, any kind of fern, and Hoya australis. Those are the plants I will not be buying any more of. I won't torture them anymore. And I'm so sorry if a plant that you genuinely love ended up on this list, but I have learned a lot as my plant journey has progressed, and that is just what I've decided is best for my collection. But yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to like and comment. I really appreciate any interaction you can have with my account, because that helps me to get to know you better, and it can help other people find our account and join our family. If you have any questions about any of the plants I mentioned, or why I feel like I couldn't take care of them, that wasn't explained well enough in the video, please leave a comment down below, and follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is a lot of fun. I am very active. I do stories several times a day, and I just genuinely enjoy Instagram a lot. So definitely check me out. My link is in the description box down below, and I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day and enjoy all your plants today. Thank you.